Good morning, everyone. This is meteorologist Shane Hinton hopping onto our social platforms in order to give you an update on that cold front that we are going to be monitoring. The time is currently just about to turn 8:35 on your Wednesday morning. And I know many of you have probably stepped outside and noticed how hot and muggy it is. Well, the good news is we have some big changes on the way over the next 24 hours. We are going to see that cold front finally start arriving in central Texas, but we've got to make it through today first. So I'm going to try to continue to monitor all of our social media platforms in case people do have questions. You'll notice right now what you're looking at on your screen is that map across the entire country, still sitting in the upper 70s here in Austin this morning, with the upper 40s in areas such as Denver and Billings. Very much looking forward to those fall-like conditions moving across the area. But like I said, we got to make it through another summer-like day. Right now, temperatures anywhere from the mid to upper 70s, 79 in areas such as Georgetown and Austin, also in LaGrange. Speaking of LaGrange, and for other folks out there in the coastal plains, you're seeing a little bit of activity out there on the satellite radar. Those are some streamer showers moving in from the Gulf of Mexico. I think most of us are going to be trending dry, at least for the first half of the day, growing more scattered for the afternoon, and then widespread for Thursday morning. Let's walk you through today first, then we'll talk about the cold front timeline. Your hourly forecast has mostly cloudy conditions continuing throughout the day. Highs climbing to around, I'll say, 95 degrees for today. You do notice that our rain chances start to increase for the back half of the afternoon and early evening. It's favoring areas along and east of I-35. Most of us will stay dry today. It's only about a 30 to 40% chance for showers and storms. Today, like I mentioned, a high of 95 in Austin. I think many, if not all of us, will be in the 90s for today, still trending above the average of 87, but we will fall below the average as we go throughout the rest of our forecast period. Allergy count for today has fall elm, ragweed, and mold, all in the medium category. Hopefully some incoming rain will help to lower most of our allergens. I say most because mold is very hit or miss in regard to whether or not we have enough moisture that kind of sometimes elevates our mold levels. So we will continue to monitor that for you, and we'll also provide updates with our daily allergy counts on air and online at KVUE.com. Let's walk you through the day today and then lead into the timeline for the cold front. You will notice that today, mostly quiet for the morning and midday hours. By around 2:30, we're talking upper 80s to lower 90s, eventually peaking in the mid 90s. It's between the hours of 4 and 6 where we start to see some of those scattered showers and storms develop in the coastal plains and maybe push toward the I-35 corridor. Notice that it starts to fizzle as we go into the overnight period, and then our next main rain chances arrive as the cold front pushes in from the north. Now, I'm going to rewind this just a little bit to kind of showcase when we can expect this line to start moving in. The timeline as of this morning has been pretty consistent, showing 7 a.m. on this particular forecast model run. Keep in mind that the line of showers and storms will be very heavily dependent on how fast the cold front moves in from the north. The current timeline has it at 7 a.m. That could change, so that's why you have to keep in touch with us throughout the day and in our evening shows or even online at KVUE.com to see if that does change. As you're commuting to work tomorrow, the roadways could be slick. We could be dealing with some isolated strong storms with scattered and widespread showers. This is 8:30 Thursday morning. 9 o'clock Thursday morning. Then we'll be left with some maybe scattered light activity through midday, and then it starts to dry out as we head into the afternoon. There could be a few lingering showers behind the front, but for the most part, we should be trending drier throughout the rest of the forecast period. So what does this mean in regards to our severe weather risk? Well, right now the severe storm potential is mostly on the lower end, but the flood risk is probably the main thing we're concerned about. We can see almost the entire KV viewing area falls under that level 1 out of 4 flood outlook. This is due to excessive rainfall. The National Weather Service has mentioned that some storms could contain some strong damaging winds for any thunderstorms that are starting to fizzle or fall apart. So we'll be monitoring that for you as well. As we take a look at the comparisons of rainfall totals between the European and the GFS model. The GFS is the American forecast model, if you're curious. You can see it's still pretty widespread with those totals showing anywhere from 0.7 of an inch to some isolated locations around 2 inches. We could see some even more isolated, heavier downpours. Those are going to be under your more intense thunderstorms, but for the most part, it's just widespread beneficial rain. Do I think this rain will remove us from the drought? No. But once again, in conditions like this, every drop helps. So we will take as much rain as we can get. What does this do to our temperatures? Well, you'll notice we fall back down into the mid-80s for Thursday and Friday, but then another front, really more just like a reinforcement of cooler air, arrives just in time for the weekend. This is going to knock us down into the mid-70s come Saturday and Sunday. You do notice that our temperatures will start to increase as we head into the beginning of next week, where we're talking highs maybe in the lower to mid-80s. The average high for this time of year, by the way, is 87. When's that sweater weather going to arrive? This morning and tomorrow morning. It might feel like you're already wearing the sweater. It's very, very warm outside. However, come Friday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, that's when you can maybe break out that sweater or a light jacket to step outside if you're getting that morning jog in or running any very early morning errands. I say this just because we have been so accustomed to warm and muggy mornings. We're talking 50s with very low humidity, okay? We're talking very dry air. That's why I'm saying it will feel a lot chillier. We've become accustomed to these very hot, almost miserable mornings throughout a majority of the summer. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying sweater weather. Your 7-day forecast. Let me go ahead and pull this up full for you. You will notice that today is the only day that we have 90s in the extended forecast. I love saying that, you guys. Mid-80s once again for Thursday and Friday. I do want to highlight on Friday, you notice that ahead of that secondary push of cold air, we start to see our winds increase. I'm talking gusts around 20 miles per hour for the first day of ACL. You'll also notice that 20% chance for showers. I'm thinking that's mostly going to be for the morning hours, hopefully right before the festival opens. I think throughout a majority of the event, we are going to be trending on the dry side. Saturday, partly cloudy and also breezy with gusts around 25 miles per hour. And then winds calm down. We get a little bit more sunshine. We warm up for Sunday. If you had to choose just one day to attend the event, I think we're going to be pretty good for all the days. I think Sunday is going to be the most perfect day that we have in the forecast. For at least the weekend, because Monday, I mean, lower 80s, mostly sunny, is looking gorgeous as well. Now, I do have to point out that we are going to be warming up into the mid-80s by Tuesday. We'll see if we continue to climb. There have been some hints at maybe a possible tropical disturbance that could be forming in the Gulf of Mexico, moving in from the Pacific for the middle to end of next week. If that brings rain, if that brings cloud coverage, that could hopefully push us back down into the cooling trend. But right now, your most pleasant conditions and fall-like feels, if you will, are going to be for the end of this work week into the weekend. I hope it's going to be an absolutely great one for everyone. So we once again are going to continue to monitor any and all updates with the forecast. We have a timeline blog on KVUE.com/weather where you can keep in touch with our latest forecast and also the timeline that we're going to be monitoring for this cold front. We will also continue to provide updates on air during KVUE Midday, which is at 11 a.m. and then our evening shows with Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams. Until then, I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. Enjoy the summer-like temperatures. If you are someone who loves the heat and the humidity, then enjoy it today because it will soon be gone. I'll see you all again very soon. Stay safe, stay smart, most importantly, stay kind.